Okay, here we go again. So, Refuse Radio says a lot of TF2 fans don't like to face the fact that their faves are misogynistic and homophobic and shockingly not very good people because they think their faves are innocent little LGBT politically correct uwu babies. You guys unfortunately don't like thinking very hard, so you just take the easy way out and call Scout your cute little soft bunny boy while ignoring the fact he regularly sexually harasses women. Oops. And I'm not saying you always have to make the mercs be terrible, unforgiving monsters all the time, but you gotta approach the things you like with some critical thinking. Please stop shutting off all media literacy because it's a fandom and not a school assignment. Let me tell you about media literacy. Media literacy means not taking things at the face value. And saying this is very face value. Hence, not really media literacy. I have played Team Fortress 2 a very long time, and I understand that there are misogynistic lines in the game. However, with media literacy, you might notice most, if not all of these lines are directed at the pyro. Soldier, when dominating a pyro, says, "Ha! You fight like a girl." Demo, when dominating a pyro, says, "Go home, lassie, men are fighting here." When Sniper has a revenge kill on a pyro, he says, "You know what you and Jane Austen have in common? You're both dead women." And when Spy dominates a pyro, he says, "Good lord, you fight like a woman." I find this very interesting because they respect the women in their lives. However, when on the battlefield, this is the enemy team. They are getting paid to fight these people. So, of course, you're going to be spewing some pretty bad things at your enemy who's trying to kill you. Additionally, it has been teased for years that Pyro is possibly a woman, but never confirmed like this. In this comic, a group of bears are coming upon our attack group here, and Soldier says, "They couldn't have tracked us. We've been stealthy like shadows. Something must have brought them here. There are only two things that attract bears, honey and menstruating women. My god, I knew it. Somehow I always knew. Pyro, stop blocking the door. Good lord, this plane is filled with honey. Amelia Earhart's famous sweet tooth has doomed us all." Then when the Team Fortress group is being tortured by the classic team, we learn their Pyro, whose name is B, or Bay, or Bea, I'm not really sure how you say it, B-E-A, is a woman. And she really likes torturing people. And honestly, out of both of the teams, our team, Team Fortress, is pretty chill when it comes to people in general. Not to mention, in this universe, women are very skilled fighters, especially in Australia. I mean, hell, look at this. We've noticed that most of the misogyny is aimed toward the enemy team, except in the fact of Soldier, who is just an idiot. "Let me talk to her. I'm great with old ladies. Old woman, you will tell me where the courthouse is or I will break my foot off in your withered old..." And Soldier's also kind of, racist against anybody who's not American, but you can easily trick him into thinking that you're American if you just kind of roll with it. Haha, Germany, Russia is big joke. Big American joke on Soldier. Ha! You got me. Oh, America, it is the place I am from. All the time. But even with all that, he ends up falling in love with a big, strong Russian woman who fights just like him. And they have two beautiful children who fight just like them. I mean, damn, what a happy family. Percy tells me that women in this universe are strong fighters, and that Demo even loves and takes care of his mom, who is a strong... He lives in a mansion to take care of her. Even Saxton Hale, as insane as he is, can't bring himself to beat up a child for the sake of his company. Except maybe Reddy. Reddy's ready to beat up a child, I don't blame him. Basically what media literacy is telling me is that these characters say some horrible things to their enemies on the battlefield, but other than Soldier, tend to be just okay. They're not saints, and I never claimed that they were, especially here. So we weren't on trial for all the property damage and murders we've actually committed. They know! They know! And then again, bringing up the media literacy, ignoring the fact that Scout sexually harasses women. How many times in canon have we actually seen that, if it even is? The Smith comic. Elf, excuse me, how long is the wait to meet Santa? For a pretty single mom like you, how does right now sound? "Oh, I have a husband. He's parking the back of the line." He was done. Like, he was done. Notice he has a single mom's line and then everybody else line. He knows what I don't know what it is with Spy and Scout being into single mothers, but, you know, like father, like son, you know. But this just seems like flirting. He wasn't like, hey, sugar boobs. But he also knows that, well, he is great with girls. We got buckets of chicken. Want to do it? Okay. Like, this is a consensual encounter here. Like, plus she was kind of smiling. She was like, oh, well, actually, you know, it wasn't like he was just harassing out the gate here. Those are, like, I think the only two canon interactions that we see with Scout interacting with or flirting with women. Obviously not including Miss Pauling, because he sucked down his pride and asked Spy for help on how to interact with mature women. Even trying to put together a little dinner date for them in her favorite color, purple, with a variety of support from the other teammates. Like, even when they were gonna go fight the big bread monster, Spy stops him and goes, I think it's going pretty well, like, kind of joking, but does stop him from running back into battle to go help Miss Pauling, which he does. He goes and says, oh, I'm so sorry. He's trying to use his manner. Obviously, she's upset, but he's, you know, he explains, I'm sorry, you know, I was trying to do this. I think I'm dying, you know, all that good stuff. Basically trying to pour his heart out to her before he passes away, or what he thinks he's going to be passing away. But then he uses the skills he learned from Spy to help save them during their little encounter with the bread monster. And it turns out she had fun. So, yeah. So what I'm saying is, don't media literacy me, because I really think people forget the comics exist. The mercenaries don't care that much about other people. They shout at each other in game and say some not great things, but overall they seem to respect the women in their lives, and they don't really care enough to be truly homophobic. I don't think that they're LGBT politically correct woos. I just think that they don't care enough to be truly misogynistic or truly homophobic. Again, most of the female lines are directed at Pyro on the enemy team that is actively trying to kill them. Of course, you're gonna say some bad things to people who are trying to kill you. So no, they're not politically correct woo babies, but they're also not raging misogynists and raging homophobes. The only person who canonly is, like, racist is Soldier, and he doesn't even really know how to be racist. Because his girlfriend is Russian, and he thought that extreme prejudice meant racist, but he thinks extreme prejudice just means killing everybody as violently as possible. I will leave the actual prejudice to your discretion.